across the country gather in New Orleans to watch the Crew and Endymion roll through and just celebrate Mardi Gras just 1 hour west. Tiger fans are here at the PMAC to have a party.
Yeah, and these fans are just getting ready as we're a couple hours from one of the biggest games in college basketball as the South Carolina Gamecocks and the LSU Tigers face off in the PMAC tonight. Both teams will want to prove that they're the true queens of the SEC. I'm Santiago Rodriguez, and welcome to the Tipoff.
I'm Kennedy Banks. And now, Santiago, today is Valentine's Day. Couples across the nation are showing their love and their admiration.
Yeah, and that's going to be the last thing that South Carolina players are going to feel right now when they get into the PMAC at 7:30 p.m.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of anticipation for this game. Everyone has been waiting for it. College game day is here. Super excited.
Super excited.
Sports reporter Dylan Bullock has more on what Tiger fans can expect from this matchup tonight.
LSU women's basketball hosts South Carolina in a top 10 showdown on Valentine's Day. This will be the first matchup of these two powerhouses this season, and both teams are ready to prove that they are the top dog in the SEC. The PMAC will definitely be rocking as the game has officially sold out. LSU looks to take advantage of the home court as they are 4-10-1 in the PMAC this season. South Carolina has proven to be road warriors, though, as they are 8-1 while away. South Carolina is ranked number 3 in the country with a 24-2 record that includes a 10-1 SEC record, which is ranked number 1. They come into Saturday's game riding a 5-game win streak where all 5 wins were by at least 15 points. LSU is ranked number 6 in the country at 22-3 with an 8-3 SEC record, which is ranked 5th. They are coming into Saturday's game winning 5 of their last 6, with their only loss being in Austin against Texas. Both of these teams are being led by legendary coaches, with Dawn Staley leading the Gamecocks and Kim Mulkey leading the Tigers. These women have combined for over 600 wins, 4 national championships, and are both members of the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Staley does hold the upper hand as she is a perfect 5-0 against Kim Mulkey's Tigers. Malaysia Fulwiley has contributed to 2 of those wins during her time at South Carolina. Fulwiley transferred to LSU this season and has been a great addition for the Tigers as she has averaged 13.4 points per game, the highest in her collegiate career. Even though she has struggled recently, as she has only hit double-digit points once during the last 4 games, playing her former team should give her some extra motivation, and I believe she will hold a big impact on Saturday's game. For Tiger TV Sports, I'm Dylan Bullock.
Thanks, Dylan. These teams are evenly matched, and Kennedy, I feel it's going to be a coin flip on who wins tonight. What are you most looking forward to?
I think I'm looking forward to seeing this team play all 60 minutes straight through. They know when you play South Carolina, there's no time for lag, there's no time for breaks.
For sure.
We've seen pits and peaks from this team, but I know they're going to be all gas, no breaks, and that's what I'm most excited for. For
me, it's the fact that it's a primetime matchup. Valentine's Day, it's going to be super fun out there. The fans are going to be rowdy. It's going to be electric. It's just going to be a great atmosphere.
No, I'm also looking forward to that. And speaking of even matchups, both the Gamecocks and the Tigers have some all-star talented shooting guards in Tanaya Latson and Michaela Williams. Latson is coming into tonight's matchup averaging 15 points per game and looks to be a big impact on the perimeter for the Gamecocks. And with South Carolina coming into Baton Rouge hoping to beat LSU for the 18th straight time, they need a hero. And with that said, Latson might just be their answer. Having a full week of recovery for this big game, Latson and her team are going to look to use that to their advantage against LSU.
How crucial is having kind of an extended bit of time in between this next game before y'all get to LSU next weekend?
It's very crucial. We got to get in a treatment room with Craig and Molly, get recovery, take care of our bodies, get in the ice tubs, do everything that we need to be ready.
It was very important for the Gamecocks to have a bye week this week coming into the game. South Carolina's coach, Dawn Staley, mentioned on how her team prepared and recovered with the bye week.
No update on Maddie. I just knew she wasn't playing today. I mean, she'll be evaluated every day. It's good that we have somewhat of a bye week. Maddie wants to play. I know that. So when you have the mindset of wanting to play, it helps the body heal a little.
There is no doubt in my mind that this match have to be one of the best in women's basketball over the past few years.
I couldn't agree more. And to show that, sports reporter Jesse Earls dives into the history of the Tigers versus the Gamecocks.
LSU versus South Carolina, Kim Mulkey versus Dawn Staley, or the Battle of Malaysia Fulwiley, whatever the public may call it. These two teams leave little up to interpretation. There's clearly no love lost between the Tigers and Gamecocks when they square off on a basketball court. This game is viewed as a rivalry by some and not so much by others. However, history has shown us that these two coaches will have their teams ready to bring their A games when they're on opposite ends of the hardwood, and tonight will be no different. The Gamecocks come into this game with an 18-12 edge over the Tigers spanning over the last 2 decades. Since arriving in Baton Rouge to take over as head coach at LSU, Kim Mulkey's squad has yet to defeat South Carolina. Staley is 6-2 against Mulkey all time, with Mulkey's 2 wins coming from her stint at Baylor. With a victory tonight, Dawn Staley and South Carolina will extend its near decade-long unbeaten streak against LSU another game. LSU and SC face each other in 2025 in Columbia, where the Gamecocks were earned a decisive victory. Tensions were high going into the matchup. The game will mark the team's first meeting since this viral altercation and the 2024 ACC Championship.
Oh, we don't want this.
Though an altercation isn't promised tonight, a new layer was added to the rivalry over the summer when Malaysia Fulwali transferred from Columbia to Baton Rouge. She, in addition to one of the best freshman classes in the nation and the big three of Jada Richard, Michaela Williams, and Flau'jae Johnson, will look to end the Tigers' losing streak to the Gamecocks. For Tiger TV Sports, Jesse Earls.
Going over a decade without a win is kind of crazy. We have to keep in mind Mulkey wasn't here the whole time. She just inherited this team, but I do still think it's insane. What about you?
Yeah, no, it is. And it's been 5 years with Mulkey, so it's impressive because with Mulkey, this team has been very competitive, but they still haven't been able to match up against South Carolina and take out the win.
Yeah.
Well, after the break, meet one of LSU's women's basketball coaches.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
The freedom to live in safety. That's an American dream.
There's nothing like celebrating a big play. But now, we're celebrating something bigger than sports.
Love, you're mine.
Love?
You're mine.
You're training your mind as much as you're training your body.
For me, just stay grounded. Be with the people who make my mental health better and not worse.
So when you see us hit this, it's a reminder to
love.
You're mine.
Welcome back. For LSU women's basketball, championship culture isn't built in a day. It's built by coaches who are constantly pouring into their players.
Yeah, Kennedy.
I'm Daphne Mitchell, LSU women's basketball assistant coach. I started playing basketball when I was probably about 8 or 9 years old. I'm the tallest one on the team. Continued on, played through middle school, high school at Woodward Academy. Then went on to get a scholarship to Georgia Tech, where I played all 4 years. Graduated from there and went overseas to play in 4 different countries. I was at Baylor as an operations position again, actually. So I wanted to be an assistant coach again. When she hired me in 2015, her only requirement was at least give her 2 years. So I learned so much during that time. I think I was there 6 years with her. When we got here, the year before, LSU had only won 9 games. And honestly, our goal was just to win 10. We just wanted to win one more than they had won the previous year, and we would have considered that a successful season. Obviously, we exceeded that goal, and in the second year, won a national championship, which no one expected. I'm fortunate to be right alongside with Coach Bob Starkey, who has coached some of the greats in the sport and on the men's side and the women's side. So honestly, I feel like we're a good balance. I feel like he's really fiery and passionate, and he's gonna really get after it. And I think that my role in that is to kind of be more of a calming voice sometimes. And we feed off each other really well too. Yes, we expect so much of everyone on the court, but also remembering these are people, and the better you take care of the person, the better they'll probably be on the court for you. I think that's one of my strengths is personalities and managing people when it comes to what I get a feel for how their personalities are. When we deal with 12 women every year and their growth and just I think that's what I would like to be known best for.
Developing players or guiding them into the pros, Coach Daphne Mitchell is defining what it means to be a part of LSU women's basketball.
Yeah, Kennedy, it is an amazing story of how she followed Coach Mulkey from Baylor now to LSU, and now she has the opportunity to coach alongside Bob Starkey. I'm just excited to see what the future holds for her.
She's an inspiration.
Yeah,
Stay tuned, because after the break, we are joined by former LSU baseball player and son of Coach Kim Mulkey, Kramer Robertson.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
The freedom to live in safety. That's an American dream.
There's nothing like celebrating a big play. But now, we're celebrating something bigger than sports.
Love, you're mine.
Love?
You're mine.
You're training your mind as much as you're training your body.
For me, just stay grounded. Be with the people who make my mental health better and not worse.
So when you see us hit this, it's a reminder to
Welcome back. We're joined by former shortstop for the Tigers and son of Kim Mulkey, Kramer Robertson. Kramer, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Well, first I gotta ask, since January 2025, you started being the athletic performance analyst. Can you tell me about your job here at LSU Athletics?
Yeah, I think it's a very broad title. I do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say just doing analytics or spreadsheets like that.
Yeah.
Could be anything from traveling with Verge to the Capitol or doing stuff in the office. However I can help the athletic department, that's what I want to do. LSU's given so much to me, and I would love to be able to give back to LSU any way I can.
And that's amazing. And I saw a post that the SEC posted on Instagram from 2017 when you guys lost and finished second runner-up for the national championship.
Yeah.
And now last year you had the opportunity to be there with the national champions. You had a photo with the trophy and Stephen Milam. Can you tell me about that moment and how special it was to win it finally with LSU?
Yeah, so I think the picture went viral or whatever, me laying on the field. That was against Coastal Carolina when they walked us off in the 2016 Super Regional.
Okay.
So ironically enough, we were playing Coastal Carolina in the national championship, and it was my first time back to Omaha since we lost. So it was a lot more fun on this side of it this time, I can tell you. It's a lot more fun when you're on the winning side. But
For sure.
Just great memories, and that's what LSU baseball is a tradition that you just pass down to the next generation, and that's what I try to do with Stephen Milam.
That's amazing. And you being an alumni, do you think you had anything for your mom to come coach here at LSU?
Absolutely.
Was that a reason for her to choose LSU?
I don't think it was the reason, but it definitely didn't hurt her being here the 4 years that I was playing and getting to interact with all of the fans and all of these people. She could feel the love, and of course we were putting it in her ear.
Yeah.
She needed to be here at LSU to come back home. Boy, aren't we glad she's here. Look at what she's helped create, and this is a special program, and it's a special fan base, and I'm sure happy moms at LSU now.
Yeah, and it's just such an amazing atmosphere. And I was taking a look at 2014, and your freshman year, you went and played against Texas A&M, and your mom was watching that game.
Yeah.
She got interviewed, and she mentioned she coached you more than being a mom. She was coaching you more. Can you tell us her most important qualities as a coach for the players?
I think she demands I don't want to say she demands perfection, but the discipline and the details, the attention to details, and how hard she makes practice, I think, is a big separator for her. Okay. It's so hard to sit here and in 1 minute describe what makes Kim Mulkey so great, because she really is, and you just have to be around her, and if you're around her for a little while, it just makes sense. She is sharp as a tack, and she knows what she's doing. She's an expert, but at the same time, she's got great humor and knows how to relate to people and has great people skills as well, and I think that's why so many players love coming to play for her and have her back, because that's the side that you're not going to see on TV, you're not going to get in the media, but she's as real as they come, and she's as good as it gets. Amazing. And I want to ask you, as a former athlete, how do you handle the pressure of knowing you're facing a team that has defeated you so many times in a row? What's the approach and for you to change that? Yeah, if I was a player, and I would tell these girls, those games have nothing to do with what's going to happen tonight. They have no effect on what's going to happen. Those are different teams and different environments and everything else. This is totally separate from any game. And, you know, to be fair to LSU, they've, you know, kind of started over 5 years ago, and I don't think the playing field was all that fair. So they've won 5-0, whatever it is in LSU since Mom's been here. But, I mean, to be fair, we were playing a little bit of catch-up there for a couple of years. For sure. Yeah, I don't think, but I would just tell the players, like, it has nothing to do with the night. Focus on what you need to do and the task at hand, and be present for this moment. And before I let you go, can you tell me your score prediction and why? Score prediction. Let's go 77-71 Tigers. We're going to have to play good defense if that's going to happen, and score the ball, because they've got a great defense as well. But why? I just have a feeling that, you know, with this atmosphere, being a blackout in the PMAC, it's been Mardi Gras, Valentine's Day. I can imagine it's going to be rocking in there, and I think that the fans will be the sixth man tonight and help us through. Amazing. Well, Kramer, thank you so much for joining us. And next on Tipoff, we give our keys for tonight's matchup.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
The freedom to live in safety. That's an American dream.
There's nothing like celebrating a big play. But now, we're celebrating something bigger than sports.
Love, you're mine.
Love?
You're mine.
You're training your mind as much as you're training your body.
For me, just stay grounded. Be with the people who make my mental health better and not worse.
So when you see us hit this, it's a reminder to
love.
You're mine.
Welcome back. Now, we've talked a lot about the history of this matchup, but let's talk about what's needed for a win here in Baton Rouge for the Tigers. For me, the biggest key is rebounding. Yeah. South Carolina has bigs. That's something we don't have, to be quite frank. So you cannot let them get to the rim and stop you from rebounding. The Tigers will need those first, second chances. Like, you have to have that to be successful against the South Carolina offense. They have bigs. They're dominant around the rim. We've seen their numbers, and they will have to go for those second chances if they really want to put up some points. Yeah, I agree with you completely, Kennedy. I think rebounding is going to be very important. But for me, the key is going to be home court advantage. I mean,
these LSU teams, the PMAC is going to be full. Like, it's going to be packed, it's going to be the blackout, and it's going to be full of rowdy and excited fans that have been excited for this game and been waiting for it for 2 years. Like, they had it on their calendar. And it's been 17 losses in a row, as we repeated over and over against South Carolina. These Tigers have to play perfect to win this matchup, because we've seen great LSU teams face off against the South Carolina Gamecocks, including the 2023 national champions, and they didn't got the job done. They lost by 24 points in 2023. So I mean, I think this is a very important moment for the program to just make it happen.
Yeah, I agree completely with you. And on the other side of the court, the most important thing for South Carolina is to defend. I mean, we've seen Flau'jae get hot. We've seen Michaela get hot, especially. Jada Richard is coming into her own. Malaysia's, I mean, she speaks for herself. We haven't seen her perform wildly, but I mean, this game has been circled on her calendar. She probably acts like it hasn't. But this is the game where you want to show up against your old team. South Carolina is going to have to defend. This is one of the top offenses in the country. And when these girls get going, especially with home court advantage, the Tigers are going to be hard to stop. And South Carolina has to defend. We saw what Aaliyah Chavez did to them when they were really sleeping on her. She was pulling up from three all over the place, and we have like 4 Aaliyah Chavezes. So I just can't imagine if the Tigers get hot, South Carolina's going to need to defend.
Yeah, I agree completely with you there. I mean, defending is very important for South Carolina. They allowed only once 80 points or more, and that was against Oklahoma in the game that you were mentioning. But at the same time, they're coming in off a 5-game winning streak. 4 of those games, they only allowed 16 points or less. So that's very impressive from South Carolina. And including the game against the Lady Volunteers, Tennessee, they were ranked. They're 19th, and South Carolina won 93-50. Like, that's just so impressive.
Yeah. And now I know this is hard. Score predictions are tough. If you're not right, it's like, oh, this guy doesn't know ball. But I'm going to make one. Let's hope I'm correct. I'm going to go 93-87 Tigers. I think this game will be much closer than a lot of people are anticipating. I don't expect a blowout either way, but I have to go for the home team. We've seen this team light up. We've seen what this offense can do. If they just perform to their highest point, I think South Carolina can't stop them.
Well, Kennedy, I'm sure Tiger fans around are going to be super happy with your score prediction, but I'm going to have to disagree completely with you. I feel like 17 wins in a row is just too much. There's too much pressure for this team. And as I mentioned before, there's been better LSU teams that faced off against the South Carolina team, and they haven't been able to do it. I just don't feel like this squad from this year is going to be the one that makes it. I think the score is going to be 80-66 for South Carolina.
Oh, wow, 80-66.
80-66.
Okay, well, we'll just have to see who's correct. That does it for us here outside of the PMAC, but our coverage of this matchup does not end here.
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter on LSU Tiger TV for more in-game updates.
And check out our website, tigertv.tv, for post-game highlights, press conferences, and a game wrap analysis. For Tiger TV, I'm Kennedy Banks.
And I'm Santiago Rodriguez. Have a fun night and enjoy the game.